I left the USA for India and built a 23 million burrito business. What on earth? 3 weeks ago, 6 million views. I cannot wait. CNBC, let's go. Wow.
Coming to India to do business is a big learning curve. First, India is a learning curve, then business in India is a further learning curve. For me, it was all about letting India be India. If you find monotony dull, if you find comfort boring, then India is a perfect place to be.
Okay.
Nothing is predictable. Every day is different. I took it as par for the course that I would just have to adjust to this in order to be successful here.
This is crazy. I can't wait for this. I'm so excited. I want to see.
My name is Bert Mueller. I'm 35 years old. I live in Bengaluru, India, and I moved here in December 2011.
Whoa, that's a while ago.
So when I looked at starting a Mexican-inspired restaurant in India, there was just Taco Bell. Even now, 13 years in the future, very few people have started Mexican restaurants. Today, with California Burrito, we have 103 stores.
Wow.
This journey from 1 to 103 stores has taken us almost 12 plus years. When we started our first store, in our first financial year, we did about $500,000.
No way. And this was back then, so, you know, it's not even inflation adjusted. I don't know if it is or not, but regardless, back then, 500,000 already. What possessed him to do this? You know what? You just sit there. I want to go and start a store in India. Like
financial year, we did about $500,000.
Wow.
Last year we did $23 million. It's at about 85 rupees to the dollar.
Oh my goodness.
Starting out in India was very challenging, but I never doubted that I had made a right decision, and I think India's stretched me as a person, and it's really a wonderful place to be. I'm very happy living here. The apartment I stay in has 3 bedrooms. It's a duplex.
Oh my days, only 1.2 a month. This is incredible. This is incredible.
And it costs me about $1,200 a month. And a lot of these furnitures also were my grandparents, so it's passed through the family and now really feels like my old house in the US here in India. This is where I take my coffee in the morning and look out over the small garden I have.
He's like an Indian version of Graham.
This is my small garden, my patio. I have a large avocado tree right over here. Now it's not usually raining in Bangalore right now. This is very unseasonal. I grew up in Silver Spring, Maryland, right outside Washington, D.C., a very traditional suburban, middle-class American childhood, I would say. I went to the College of William and Mary in Virginia. I had a double major in music and public policy. I had the opportunity to study abroad, and I saw most people were going to Spain or Italy, and I'm a bit of a contrarian, and I wanted to go somewhere that was radically different than the U.S. 8348. So I decided that India was the place to be. Gosh, my first trip to India was just crazy in a sense, and it was so different than what I had grown up with. I came out here with about 20 people on the study abroad program. Some people got sick, some people, didn't like the food, it didn't treat their system well. I was certainly someone who blossomed and was very comfortable navigating India, whereas most other people in the program weren't. As an individual, I've always been somebody who's extremely frugal. What do I spend? In terms of groceries, I spend anywhere between $150 to $200 a month.
I told you, because he's mentioning about frugality and all of this. He's like the Indian version of Graham Stephan.
Once I came to India and then I went back.
Hold on, did he start talking with the Indian way? Indians often say, no brother, no thank you. No brother, I just want to do the right thing. No. I swear I saw him do that. So he's literally been living there. Let's see. I've got a bunch of Indian
Once I
friends in case
came
you're
to
wondering.
India.
See? He did it. He done the doing.
$200 a month. Once I came to India and then I went back, I never wanted to have Indian food.
You know what's funny? Hold on. This is the last time I'm rewinding this. Look at the spike on this part. A ton of people rewinded the exact same place because they saw him do the hand sign and they said, this white man is now Indian. Wow.
Once I came to India and then I went back, I never wanted to have Indian food in the U.S. again because whatever I'd had in India was so good, everything else paled in comparison. On eating out, it's probably another $200 a month, maybe $400 if it's a very active month. The challenges of living here is it can be frustrating to get things done. Patience is kind of the right strategy usually. They say fortune favors the bold. I would say India favors the patient. The other thing is, knock on wood, I had actually not had any health issues, but last year I got dengue in August, and then I got typhoid in January. So I'd gone for 13 years with no problems, and then last year I got 2. So, there are health issues that can arise that would not happen in the U.S., and these are not small issues. All the people in our program were living with families. One of my friends was of Mexican origin, and one day I came over to her house and I saw she'd made this food for the family she was living with, and they were loving the food. As soon as I saw that, I thought, that maybe this was something I could do. I could bring Mexican-inspired cuisine to India.
Such a good idea, man. And so simple too. Wait, let's see, read that. What was that? California Burrito currently employs 2,000 people across the... Okay.
When we were raising money for our first store, we estimated we needed about $100,000 to do it. We raised $250,000. So that was from friends, family. 2 of my childhood friends decided to join. And we opened in October 2012, our first store. The store did extremely well.
Right
all of a sudden it was clear that we needed to grow our own ingredients. So in 2018 we ordered Hass avocado trees from California. We imported them and we planted them, about 500 of them. 6 months in, some elephants came through the avocado farm and trampled 60 of the trees.
Wow.
Past 13 years we've worked hard to make the food taste like you would get it in California or taste.
I'll tell you this right now, those were the competitors' elephants. The competitors sent some elephants to trample it down to try and compete with you. But thank God you guys were able to pull through, because that is so not normal. Like, what the heck? That's what I would think. I'll be looking around like, where are they? Somebody done this. It's not just the elephants.
Came through the avocado farm and trampled 60 of the trees.
Like, what the heck? How do you explain
13 years we've worked hard to make the food taste like you would get it in California or taste like you get it in Mexico. Man. If you use the tomatoes from India, they taste very different than the tomatoes you'd get in the US. And the onions taste very different, the beans taste different. So it takes a lot of time to develop the supply chain that leads to a food that, while is approachable for someone who's from India, is also differentiated from a flavor perspective.
Okay. Finances.
So when we break down that $23 million revenue, our food costs are about 37% food and packing costs. Our labor costs would be about 12% and approximately 4% on marketing. Real estate would be about 9%. And then corporate overhead would be about 5%. And we have other operating expenses. So at the bottom line, you could say it's around 10%. Our plan is to reach 300 stores by 2030, at which point we would probably list the company and do an IPO in India.
Wow.
And we'll see what happens.
That's crazy.
For me, living in India feels like I'm a part of this incredible once-in-a-lifetime growth story. India is on a growth story that other countries have already gone through, and to be able to witness the transformation and change that people's lives are experiencing is really powerful. I think it's also just a wonderful place to be from a life experience perspective, and I couldn't be happier to be here.
Wow, this was one of the best CNBCs I've read in a watched, sorry, in a while. Much respect to this guy. He ventured out of his comfort zone and saw what was lacking upon millions of people in India, that Mexican food, and he supplied, man. And massive respect. They say India is not for beginners. This dude started as a beginner and stayed. Wow, as a true expert, not just as an expert, but a true expert. This is truly incredible, bro. Blessings from Maryland, India. Yeah, honestly speaking, this is one of the best stories and probably one of the most inspirational stories I've seen in a really long time. Really long time. This is why he's so successful and the reason. Yeah, guys, I mean, the proof is in the pudding and the pudding is in the proof. And if you eat the pudding, maybe you could become the proof. I just made that up. But all I'm going to say is, look, try something. Do something that brings you outside of your comfort zone. And you never know. You could end up in Pakistan. Okay, forget India. Go to Pakistan and just copy the exact same business. But the thing is, you might not be brave enough. All it took was for him to be brave, bold, and then he stepped out there and he was able to get it done. So I'll say go for it, man. What's stopping you? Nobody. All right. But anyways, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, because this video is really good. Like, share to someone entrepreneurial with a entrepreneurial mindset, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. God bless you all.